Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is NightFall. I recently just hit Gold 3 in Valorant Ranked, and here are my 5 best tips that I can give you guys to get out of Elo Hell, which is pretty much anything below Gold, so Silver, Bronze, and Iron. The first tip I can give you guys is to work on your aim. Now, aim is such a broad and such a huge subject in Valorant that I could go on for forever, pretty much, but I'm just going to give you 4 different segments as sub-topics in just training your aim that you should be working on. So, most of the people, when I play unrated or when I play with my friends in lower elos, the aim is definitely different. Like going from like silver and like up, the aim gets much better. And so the first thing I'd like to say is you need to play Deathmatch. Deathmatch is such a huge help, and not only does it just work on your raw aim, it works on all the fundamental parts. Like if you see someone in a game, it completely represents that in Deathmatch, which in aim labs you're just clicking circles. It's not. There's no movement in aim labs. There's no like head, like looking for the head. And so what I would say is if you had an hour a day to set just towards practicing aim, I'd say do 45 minutes of deathmatch and 15 minutes of aim labs. So I think aim labs is still very good, especially for a warm up because it really gets your hand moving. Like if you want to do grid shot or stuff. But deathmatch is extremely good, and you definitely should be doing it. And while you're doing deathmatch, I think there are 2 other things you should really be focusing on, and one of those is slowing down. If you're shooting people the second you see them, that's not good because you're probably not hitting their heads very consistently. So just slow down, and even if it's extremely slow, start very slow and work your way up faster. Make sure your crosshairs on their head. Make sure that if you're going to click your left button, they are going to die. And a good way to practice is by using like Guardian or Sheriff, because Guardian and Sheriff both really have precise like aim, and Guardian forces you to slow down. And also crosshair placement. Please, I've seen so many people when watching like unraids and stuff where they're literally mopping the floor with their crosshair. And it's such like a thing that you don't even think about it unless someone tells you about it. So you're just constantly telling yourself, where's my crosshair? Is it at headshot level? And that's the first tip. Just all about aim. Alright, the second tip I have for you is probably one of the easiest, if not the easiest things that you can just instantly improve in your game. And that is to queue smart. Please, if you're losing 3 games in a row, stop playing. Take a break, do something, because tilt queuing is probably one of the worst things, and you'll just go down this rabbit hole where you're dropping ranks extremely fast. If you're going to queue, make sure you've warmed up. If you haven't played in a few hours, just do a deathmatch. That's all I do. I just do 1 or 2 deathmatches. And then if you lose a game, even if it's a close game, if you lose a game, play a deathmatch in between before your next one. If you lose 2 games in a row, take like a 15-minute break where you're not even like playing Valorant, like watching YouTube, do something, and then hit a deathmatch, and then hit your next game. Stop tilt queuing. It is very bad, and I've seen people lose tons of games in a row just because they won't stop, because they keep going, no, I gotta play another one, I gotta finish off on a win. It's not good. Stop tilt queuing. Alright, since we're on the topic of queuing, another thing is solo queuing. It's worse than duo or trio queuing, but it's not bad. I probably solo queued 2/3, if not 3/4 of my games, and where I am now. So you don't need solo queuing, but I would highly recommend duo queuing. If you can find someone who is very consistent with you, duo queue with him. It's much better. Trust me. Alright, so this was probably the hardest thing to do and takes the most effort, but this definitely pays off. And this is something that I even work on. This works for all ranks, as most of the tips actually do. This is training your game sense. And like aim, this is extremely hard and way harder than aim, because aim you just hop into a deathmatch, you do aim ups. There's multiple things you can do. Game sense, probably the best way is to record your games and VOD review them. Now, VOD reviewing is when you record your games, watch through it, and every round you go, what led me to die here? Or if you won, what led me to win? But you want to focus on the games you lose, because you go, what led me to die here? What could I have done better? And if you ask yourself those questions every round, you're going to be finding yourself going, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. And then, because it's really hard, you'll know the right decision, but when you're in game and the heat of the moment, it's a lot harder. So by doing this, you're actually just training your brain to actually remember in game, and it's extremely helpful. These are extremely boring because you're watching these 40-minute long games of yourself not even playing, but these definitely pay off and are very worth it. Alright, moving into the 4th tip. You've probably heard this a million times. Please have a good mindset. It's not fun going into games, and then even if someone makes a bad play, or if someone is making you mad, or if someone's just trash talking, just mute him. So simple. Don't try to like reason with them at all. They're just gonna make things worse. Just mute him and get over it. And if someone makes a bad play on your team, don't even you can call it out, but be very polite, because even if you just say like, yo, what was that? they're gonna get agitated. Everyone's gonna get just in a worse vibe. Like if you are constantly, if someone wins around, hype him up. Like having a good team morale is that has such an advantage. Like good comms and good team morale go such a long way, and it's such an easy thing. Do not ever try to aggravate your teammates. If you guys are like all happy, cracking jokes throughout the whole game, your chances of winning actually just skyrocket. Alright, now I saved this for last because it's probably going to be the most like controversial and also the most optional. Now, I would recommend there are few agents that for solo queuing and for low ranks are extremely good. And so, I'm going to put a tier list on screen. Now, big quotations, this is an opinion. You could pick any one of these and go all the way to Radiant level. There are Radiants who play these characters, but the people in S and A are especially good for solo queuing. Like, if you want to play a duelist, definitely play Jett or Reyna. They are probably your best bets. If you want to play a Sentinel, definitely pick up Killjoy or Sage. Sage has some disgusting plays with her. Killjoy you can really support your team with. If you're going to play Smokes, play Omen. And the reason I didn't put Brim in S, he's good with Smokes, but with Omen's blind, with how big it is, and his teleports, his kit just has way more to offer than Brimstone says. And so, obviously, you don't even have to pay attention to this, but these are just probably, if you're looking for a new agent, probably try to pick someone in this S or A. They are probably your best bet for solo queuing and low ranks. Alright guys, so those are all 5 of my tips. If you have any questions on what you should do, ask me in the comments. I'll be glad to answer. These are the best things that really helped me push out, and I didn't even do half these. I've only found about them recently. So if you do these, you are going to absolutely just climb. If you're constantly training and doing all this stuff, trust me, everything's just going to skyrocket. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, and I guys see you in the next video. Bye.